Well, hello. Today is 7 o'clock. Well, no, it's October 15th at 7 o'clock. Today we got a crazy show for you. I'm going to try to get through I had a show planned, and then I found out some other news. So we got to do that. But make sure you stay tuned. This is Wake Up America.
News channel after news channel after news channel. Ever wonder why they report the same news? This is Wake Up America.
Brought to you by Citizen Stringer.
The media has become absolute lunacy. What makes us different? We just tell the truth. Daily headlines, politics, social issues, focusing on headlines that the mainstream media ignores. Conservative to the core and honest, sometimes to a fault. Unapologetically American. Welcome to Wake Up America with your host, Stephen Oatley.
That's me. All right, guys, my name is Steve Oatley. I'm your host for tonight. Today is... there it is. I'm your host for tonight. My name is Steve. And, of course, I'm your host every night. It's my show. Man, do we have some weird news. I'm going to have a story that's going to be, it's going to go live in about, what time is it? 7:01 now, so it's going to go live in about 9 minutes. And this one, and it's not, we didn't break anything here. Well, maybe we did because nobody covered it. Did you guys know, you got to sit back a little bit. Actually, I got to go first. Spartan Armor Systems. They are the sponsor for this show. You can find them at SpartanArmorSystems.com. And if you use code YEET, get 10% off your order. They make some of the best body armor you could possibly find. Arizona-based company. Huge supporters of our show. I actually have a bunch. I'm trying to clean up in here. You can see I'm moving cameras around and trying to figure out which way I like it the most. So I gotta get more lights. I got to put another light over there and another light over there so it gives a better ambiance. So I'm going to do that. But yeah, man, this I can't even hide it. Go check out SpartanArmorSystems.com and use code YEET and get 10% off your order. I think probably maybe tomorrow I'll do a whole show in body armor. You know why? Well, not tomorrow. Tomorrow's Saturday, then Sunday, then Monday. Maybe Monday's show. Well, it'll be a Spartan Armor show. I'll contact them. Maybe we want to do a giveaway that day. Speaking of giveaways, Darius, you won our coffee box last night because And I'm going to do it again tonight. And I may do it every night. So what I'm going to do tonight is if you sign up for a membership, a monthly membership on citizenstringer.tv, I will give away a custom t-shirt and a bag of coffee as well. Darius won a box of coffee last night, so he won an actual coffee box, which comes with 5 different, all of our blends of coffee, puretruthcoffee.com if you want to buy some coffee yourself. But congratulations, Darius. You were the only one who signed up for a membership last night because apparently people just didn't do it. So you won the coffee box. Tonight, if you sign up tonight, on Monday, actually, I'll do it for the whole weekend. So if you sign up for a membership on citizenstringer.tv, it's a monthly membership, $12.99. And here's a hint. If you use code YouTube, you get you get like 6 months free or something. I don't even remember what it is. But go over there, sign up, and you'll win a coffee selection. You'll see our coffee brands right here. Let me make sure. You'll see, here's our Wake Up America blend. Here, let me see. Oh, bada bing. Look, there. Oh, shit. Now you can't see it because of the lights. That's our Wake Up America blend. You can't see it, but that's one of our blends. This is a breakfast blend. It's very smooth, very nice. And then we've got, oh, God, we've got the Trumpkin blend. Fucking microphone. See the Trumpkin? It's got a little bit of pumpkin spice to it. It's very nice. Very nice. Anyway, let's get into the show. Are you guys ready? Do I have enough people in here to go crazy and tell you exactly what's going on in this darn country of ours? Huh? How would you feel if you found out that a special assistant to the House Sergeant at Arms was just arrested on Wednesday and charged with 10 counts of child pornography? I know, you're probably like, no way, Steve. How could a guy that's worked for the House Sergeant at Arms for the past, 2001? So he's worked there for 17 years. How could he possibly have gone through top secret security clearances for the past 17 years, been paid over $1.2 million of your money, my money, $1.2 million of taxpayer dollars, only to be stupid enough to look at child porn here, and it gets weird. It gets weird. If that's not weird enough for you, it gets weirder. So the assistant to the House Sergeant at Arms was arrested and charged with 10 felony counts of child pornography. Yes, this is a true story that you're not hearing. I literally drove to Richmond and back today with my kids in the car, listening to Fox News the entire time. Not once did Fox News mention that William Walker, who is now the new House Sergeant at Arms, who was directly appointed for that position by Nancy Pelosi, that his special assistant, the person that works under him, was arrested on Wednesday with 10 counts of child pornography. Not a peep on media. There's a couple of little articles, a couple of little, blends out there, but not a peep on the fact that this guy was caught with child pornography. And here's the thing. When you look into it, and he's been working for the government for a long time, since 2004, he's made a boatload of money. Over $1.2 million of taxpayer funds have gone to this guy. He was a special assistant for the police. He was a special assistant all in that House Armed Service, or the House Sergeant at Arms. Anyway, the assistant to Pelosi appointee for the House Sergeant at Arms, William Walker, Stefan Bieret, I'm probably saying his last name wrong, but Stefan, Stefan Bieret, was arrested on Wednesday at his home after police discovered an online storage account full of illicit images of children. According to the press release, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children was notified of a potentially illicit image being uploaded to a Dropbox account. They referred that image over to the Northern Virginia, Washington, D.C. Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force, who discovered that Bieret was the owner of the Dropbox account. On Wednesday, police issued a search warrant and served it on his home and recovered, quote, multiple electronics. He was arrested and taken to the Fairfax County Adult Detention Center and held without bond. Now, this is crazy because Pelosi personally tapped his boss, Walker, as a House Sergeant at Arms in March after both the Senate and House Sergeant at Arms resigned following the riot at the Capitol on January 6th. I'm sorry. You know what? I'm just going to publish this right now. Reset. Publish. So now you guys can all go and share that article. It's posted out on citizenstringer.com. Anyway, he worked for the House Sergeant at Arms office since 2004, collectively earning a whopping total of over $1.2 million in taxpayer money. Now, this is what's really interesting. He served as a special assistant to the former Sergeant at Arms, Paul Douglas Irving. Now, you may wonder who was, and he worked for everyone, but Paul Douglas Irving was the House Sergeant at Arms that resigned after the January 6th riots and all that stuff. So seemingly, this guy could have been working there. Now, I wonder if the commission that's been convened to investigate the January 6th riot, on whether they're going to call this guy or they'll call anybody else. Because this guy's looking at child pornography. Is that why there was an intelligence failure with the House Sergeant at Arms, Senate Sergeant at Arms, Capitol Police, which led to the whole Capitol being overrun, right? I mean, they said they're going to investigate it. It would only be fair if they actually do an investigation. This guy has a top secret clearance to work for the House Sergeant at Arms. He's got a top secret clearance there. He's been there for 2004, and they found a Dropbox full of child pornography that apparently this guy was uploading and downloading images from. This is sketchy as shit. This is sketchy as hell. And you would think this would be a leading story, but no, they're talking about how Steve Bannon is going to be charged with contempt for the January 6th, committee because he's not giving away information or he's not providing information to them and all that other stuff. Oh my goodness. This by far should be the biggest story. This is the story everybody should be talking about, is the fact that a person that works directly under a Nancy Pelosi appointee has been discovered to possess a ton of child pornography. I bet Alex Jones right now is just like rolling around, just being like, oh my God, I said this, because he said this all the time too. Isn't this crazy? This is one of the crazier stories that we've covered in a long time because of the lack of coverage. Now, we've covered a lot of stories where they don't talk about it. Can you imagine if this was like, someone that worked in Lindsey Graham's office, or someone that worked in Kevin McCarthy's office, or someone that worked for Donald Trump, or anything like that? This would be national headlines everywhere. They'd be talking about it 24/7. It would never go away. But the fact is it works for someone that's directly tied to Nancy Pelosi. Whether or not all these fact checkers want to say that Nancy Pelosi is not in charge of the House Sergeant at Arms, she is literally the one who appoints the Sergeant at Arms. She appointed William Walker, and this guy worked directly under William Walker as the special assistant to William Walker. So I want everyone to understand that this is deep, and this should be going everywhere. They should all be paying attention to this. Not only the fact that this guy worked under a Nancy Pelosi appointee, because that's her job as the Speaker of the House, is to appoint the House Sergeant at Arms when there's a vacancy. That's why she appointed William Walker. The press release is on her website. So any of the fact checkers that want to say she didn't do it, it's on her website. She appointed him. It's on her website right now. Everyone can look it up. But the craziest thing to me about the whole thing is this guy had a top secret clearance. Okay, he had a top secret clearance. And if you've ever had any family members or anybody, I've never had a top secret clearance or any clearance, but I've had family members that have. They do full investigations. You'll get a knock by the FBI. They'll do all that stuff. Are you telling me that our law enforcement capability right now cannot discover that a guy that's in that much power, that has that much influence, he's a special assistant to the House Sergeant at Arms, who has direct contact with all the senators or Congress members? Like, you can't. This should be the biggest story right now. The fact that who else knew? Did Nancy Pelosi know? Did her boss know? How come there has been no press release from that office saying, oh my God, we worked with this guy for the past 17 years. We didn't know. It's just disgusting. It's just disgusting. There's been no coverage. There still won't be, because even though I'll talk about it and we'll get some views on the video, and then my article will be shared wildly, and then maybe a couple of other people will pick it up, but nobody's really going to focus on it. Fox News today. So this story was written yesterday, not my story, because I just discovered it because nobody, someone sent it to me actually. Shout out to you, Sean. But I was like, what the hell? This cannot be real. This cannot be real. Turns out it is. And then I look around to everybody else and I'm like, nobody's covering it. Nobody's covering the fact that a guy that works directly under an appointee by Nancy Pelosi has been charged with child pornography. Unbelievable. It's unbelievable. It's all unbelievable. Someone said it's all over the news channel's web pages. No, local news. That's it. Just local here in D.C. That's it. And you're only going to find a short little blurb, okay? I even wrote more than they did. But it's insane. It makes you wonder what's really coming out, since this isn't the first time Radical Left throws us under the bus for their team. Yeah. I don't know. It's very odd. No matter which way you look at it, it's very odd. It's very it's scary. It's just scary that the more and more we hear about stuff, like today, I listened to the news the whole day. I listened to Joe Biden speak. I saw, he flipped out on some other people later. I don't care. The guy's an idiot. I've never said this about a president before, ever in my life. That dude is not a president. He doesn't represent any. And I'll be honest, there's not a single politician that currently holds office that represents any of my views entirely. But Joe Biden literally represents the opposite of my views as a whole. Everything. The guy is a pathological liar. Everything he says is patently false. And he's literally destroying our country minute by minute, day by day. And there's nothing anybody seems to be willing to do about it. In terms of, doing a mental fitness test. Like that, you would think that would already happen with all the stuttering and all the stuff that he does on the air. But no, they don't pay attention to it. That doesn't matter. That's distracting. Let me go over to this one. Yeah, I like that angle. I'm trying to figure out the picture. I can't get the picture to work better. That's a water bottle. Let's get that out of there. All right, change my mind. Don't like it. Let's go back here. What I need to do is have it just like switch automatically, as I'm talking, just to give a different camera angle and break the monotony of just staring straight on. But oh man, it's crazy stuff. All right, so let's talk about something else. So I heard today on Fox News, I forgot who it was. Hold on one second. What is this? Is this a new update? Oh, shit. Yeah, I want to hear what this one. I'm going to play a video right now, live for everybody. First, I got to go. So I'm going to skip my story real quick and go to a different one. So Chicago and New York, Chicago and the Chicago City Mayor's Office and Chicago Police have been going at it for the past couple of days about vaccine mandates that are being imposed on that city with the police department. So it's kind of crazy what's going on there. There's been a couple of videos that I've tweeted out over the course of the day. Well, I think only one video that I tweeted out over the course of the day. Look, that article's already going viral right now. The article that I just released a few minutes ago. It's already been, just keep sharing it. Let me find this video so I can just link to the YouTube page. YouTube, hold on. Yep, nice to meet you. All right, hold on. So this is the FOP Chicago Lodge 7. They just put out a video 30 minutes ago. So let me give some background. So the city of Chicago has issued mandates to all their employees, and specifically the police department, that's saying that they have to be vaccinated in order to work their shift. And if they're not vaccinated, they have to submit to testing. I believe they have to submit to testing. I could be wrong, but they have to use some sort of portal to update it. Now, the union, the Fraternal Order of Police there, has come out and said, listen, and urged all their officers not to do it. Fox News has been talking about it on repeat today because, well, Chicago is a deadly place anyway. It's not a good city, and they were worried that 50% of the Chicago Police Department, based on what the FOP guy said earlier, that 50% of that police department may be sent home. Now, they're not striking or anything like that. They're urging, and he's recommended all of his police officers, anyone that's part of the union, go into work. And if you're sent home, get sent home, but don't participate in this online portal because that is not part of the collective bargaining agreement with the city, and therefore not to honor it. So Fox News has been talking about it all today because Chicago, again, deadly. It's a weekend, so we know already there's probably going to be 15, 20 murders over the course of the weekend. There always is, almost every weekend. Usually a kid or two dies as a result. They've talked about that as well. Fox News just kept it on repeat today, talking about how 50% of the workforce, the police force, may end up being sent home because they're not going to be in compliance with the city's mandate. Now, there's a new video that just came out. I saw, based on the comments, I saw it something else, but I don't know, because I saw one comment. Let me see. Let me go back to that comment, see what that comment said. It said FOP shut down by court and mayor, but let me hear it. Let's listen all together. All together now.
We just had a court hearing about the city's temporary restraining order to prevent me from discussing the vaccine policy. The judge granted the temporary restraining order, so until Monday's hearing, follow-up hearing, I will not be able to speak anymore on the policy, any way, shape, or form, in either way. So, with that being said, everybody has to do what's in their hearts and minds, whatever that is.
Oh my God, dude.
Policy starts at the top in this city, and it has proven time and time again that the top of this city's policy needs to change. With that being said, enough is enough.
Oh, he's running for mayor. So I couldn't show the video. It wasn't queued up. All right, so that was John. I could try to tell you his last name. I'm going to butcher it. It says Catanzara. Catanzara. But I believe he's the FOP, like he's in charge of the head of the police union there, the Fraternal Order Police. And I think he just made the decision that he's running for mayor in Chicago because he's done with this. But so what he said in that video is that, because he's been outspoken about it, you know, talking to his police officers saying, listen, this policy, you don't need to comply with the policy. We have a collective bargaining agreement. They're union. We have an agreement with the city. They can't put all these other things, all these other restrictions in place. They just can't do it. It's not legal based on our agreement with them. And apparently the city actually, I mean, here's the thing. Lori Lightfoot actually held a press conference earlier today and called him a racist. Like, called him a racist. And his response to it, they've been going back and forth all day. His response to it was like, you're calling me a racist because I disagree with your policy and the way your policy is read. I have, black police officers, white police officers, Asian police officers, Indian police officers, Spanish police officers that work under you. So Lori Lightfoot literally tried to slander this guy today. And apparently a judge aligned with her and silenced him so he can't talk to his officers about the COVID policy. So he's just recommending that they don't do it, that they can't say anything else, which is just absolutely nutty. I know I can't do a lot of the text when I'm doing live stream. It screws me up. Because I lose my focus on what I was talking about. So that's kind of crazy. We're definitely going to be watching Chicago. I think a person we all know is up there working an event for somebody else. So, let's hope Chicago doesn't go too nutty. We've seen Chicago, like when a guy tries to shoot at a cop and misses, or when a guy takes his own life and police are nearby, Chicago riots. We've seen that before, even though video later shows that the guy actually took his own life and police never fired. But it doesn't matter. People riot and death and destruction usually follows after that. That could potentially be a weekend in Chicago. It's almost like a weekend at Bernie's, but, well, you're going to die because that's what Chicago is like all the time. So, like the infamous viral video where it's like, hide your kids, hide your wife. No, everyone just hide inside. And you're not even really safe if you're inside. Try to go to the center rooms away from all windows and stuff because, well, bullets do go through wood and all that. We've seen that. Usually once a week, someone in Chicago dies from a drive-by and a stray bullet going through a window or going through a wall and killing them. Chicago is a dangerous place, and I'm not trying to make light of what's going on there. I'm just trying to point out the fact that that city specifically is effed. Okay, I've been saying that a lot lately about our country and about every city in the United States. Well, that city in particular, we already know. They know going into a weekend, whether whatever the case of or whatever the weather's going to be, they already know that they're going to have a hard time. That there's going to be shootings. The police are going to be overworked. The police are going to be tired. The police are not going to want to deal with a lot of the restrictions that have been put in place. I don't believe they're allowed to chase anyone on foot anymore. There's a lot of restrictions that have been put on that police department. And now they all have to use some sort of database and register whether or not they're vaccinated. And if they're not vaccinated or they refuse to use that database, from what I understand, and I could be wrong on this, so don't quote it, they're going to be told to go home and they're going to be suspended without pay. Now, or not suspended, they're going to be placed on leave without pay, which is It's outrageous that could even be happening in America, let alone Chicago, let alone a crime-ridden Chicago, let alone, a horrible place, but apparently it can. So it doesn't really matter anymore. I talked about it. I did my due diligence there, and let's move on to the next story. So and what I was talking about a few minutes ago, I heard this story today on Fox News where they were talking about I forgot who it was. I think it was Geraldo or whatever his stupid liberal name is, even though he says he's a Republican. He's not. That dude's not. But he was on there and he was talking about stuff, and he was talking about how truck drivers, like, that's the way to deal with the shortage, with the trucker shortage, is put 18-year-olds behind the wheel of trucks. Have you ever driven in the car with an 18-year-old, or driven next to the car of an 18-year-old, or just looked at like death statistics with 18-year-olds, and you wonder why 18-year-olds are not allowed to drive interstate commercial vehicles? It's because they don't know how to drive. It's like asking an 18-year-old to actually go out and hold a job right now. That doesn't really happen much. Now, mind you, there are 18-year-olds that can go out and work. And I understand the problem, and Democrats, for some reason, have been pushing this. And there's been bills and laws passed to try to train truck drivers and allow them to go over the road at 18 years old, which is a horrible thing. I mean, case in point, look at my Twitter page from earlier today. I posted a picture of a truck driver. And I'll say, because I never heard back from them today. So I'll put them on blast. You know why? Because my wife or my kids were in the vehicle with it when I was driving. So I'll put them on blast. The company's name was Frontline Express. So when I was driving, and maybe I should just cue this, or maybe I should just show this so you could see, because I think it shows a lot more when you see just how close this scumbag was to the back of my truck while we were doing 70 while my kids were in the car. Because there was a car in front of me and a car on the side, so I couldn't move out of the way. And this guy literally came so damn close to my vehicle. Here, hold on. I think I got rid of this. I got to save this image. And then I'm going to drag it over here. All right, so look. Where'd it go? Over here. Oh, it's not going to work. Let me try it one more time. All right. Let me try it this way. I wasn't prepared. I'm usually not. I try to be. What the fuck? Save image as. Why is it saving as some weird ass file? Well, that's why it's not doing it. It's going to be too difficult. You can go on my Twitter page to see it. Because I thought I had like a window capture in this issue, this vMix, but I don't. So it's not allowing me to show, which is weird because I usually do. Oh, you know what? Here it is on this side. Duh. All right, so look. This, you can see it here. This is my, this is zoomed in a little bit, but there's the back window of my truck. I'm doing, keep in mind, 70 miles an hour down the interstate. There was a car over on this side over here, so I was unable to move over. He's riding my ass. I mean, he was at this point maybe 4 or 5 feet in front of my vehicle or behind my vehicle, doing 70 miles an hour. If I tapped the brakes, or the car that I was tailgating because he was pushing me so much, if that car slammed on the brakes, he would have slammed into the back of my truck. So I did what everyone did, and this is what I think everyone should do, and I'm going to explain how you can do it. Frontline Express is the trucking company. Now, they have a truck that they leased, I guess, from M&K Leasing. But I looked up Frontline Express, and they're an Ohio-based company, MC number 36717. And the reason why I'm doing this is this driver has no business being on the road. Okay, so I ended up calling Frontline Express, found one of the phone numbers for him. I ended up speaking to the guy. I texted him these photos, and I said, listen, I want this driver fired. I don't care what you do. I was in the vehicle with my kids. I want this driver fired before he kills somebody else. And then when he ended up passing me, I could see he was on his phone, which is probably why he was speeding so crazily to get it. Their response was, I received the photos. I'll let our safety manager know. She will get back to you. Again, sorry about that. This is insane. My kids were in the car. My kids, that's the picture. My kids were in the car. And so you want to know why 18-year-olds cannot drive trucks? Well, it's because adults can't even do it. Not all adults do that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? I could understand if I was doing 50 and a 70, but I was doing at least 70. I was probably going a little bit over. And I was in the fast lane, and there was another vehicle in front, and we were passing other vehicles. Now, this guy came flying up on my ass. And when I pulled over, when I finally, because I did the middle finger and all that stuff because he was riding so close. The only thing I couldn't do was brake check him because I was worried that he was going to hit my truck. He was literally that close to it. So you want to understand why people can't drive, because we have people like this. That get on the road. We have people like this that put the lives into danger, like this. Look how close he is to the back. I'm in a pickup truck. That is his truck there. Entirely too close. It could have been horrible. Could have been a horrible thing. Someone said, "Oh my God, Steve, crying. So why were you up on the other car's ass?" Because I had a tractor trailer barreling down on my kids. We were in the vehicle. We were all passing, and we were all doing fine. You know what I mean? I was, by no means was I even as close to that other vehicle that was in front of me. All right? I think people are just being stupid. I think people are being stupid. But, yeah, someone said, bad idea. I heard Gerald's interview. I couldn't believe he said it. He's never on point. Yeah, but again, he doesn't understand the trucking industry. He doesn't understand. And yes, would it be a great job to go in? I know many of 18-year-olds. I used to hire them to work intrastate, because you could have CDL drivers pulling intrastate. Insurance is through the roof, because that's another thing. Even if the federal government says, okay, 18-year-olds can go behind the wheel, you're never going to get an insurance carrier to do it. Here's a case in point. Go find a 19-year-old that's got an insurance policy. Find out how much they pay. All right, I used to hire drivers for a living, and the driver, we got a discount, or we actually saw the rate go down when the driver was 36 or older. And that's if they had a special, they had, years, 10 years clean of CDL driving. That's when we saw a discount. You know how much truck insurance would be for an 18-year-old commercial driver with no experience, or 6 months verifiable experience over the road? It would put trucking companies out of business. That's why when people say that kind of stuff, I understand. We have a shortage, and now everyone's freaking out. How the hell we're gonna get through this? How are we gonna get through this supply chain stuff? How are people gonna get Christmas? We've talked about it. I talked about it a lot yesterday. I talked about it a lot the day before when Biden made all his false statements about this whole port opening 24/7 bullshit. Guess what? The port's still not open 24/7. And if you look at the port of Long Beach, there's a good video on TikTok I meant to queue up for this show. It's all robots. It's all robots. All the employees are sitting in there in a control room, and it's all robots, doing everything. They're still, and those robots aren't even working 24/7 right now. They're only working, I take that back. Yes, they are. They're working 24/7 Monday through Thursday. And then the robots are even getting the time off in the second half of Friday, second shift of Saturday, and all day on Sunday. Tell me that. Why, when you have an automated port, would the port be closed? It doesn't make any sense, right? But again, I don't make the rules. I don't make the rules. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. There are also four-wheelers who pull out in front of 18-wheelers. Much of the loads are heavy and could shift like milk. Trucks can't stop on a dime. Neither should trucks ride shotgun on one's butt. Yeah, nobody's saying that. This wasn't a case of me pulling out in front of a truck. I was in the fast lane. He actually pulled up from the slow lane because he attempted to pass everybody on the right first, and he couldn't do it because there's so many cars backed up, and we were all following an oversized load. So there was an oversized load way ahead, so everyone was going the speed limit, including the oversized load, but this guy, he must have been pissed off or something. And he was on his phone. When he drove by, he was like, blah, 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 on his phone. And I did a good job. I didn't stereotype the driver or the trucking company out of Ohio. I didn't do any of that, but I am going to call him out because that driver deserves to be fired. And depending on how much it irritates me, because I'm still pretty damn irritated, I may even call that leasing company, or maybe I'll just look the company up on Safer and call their insurance company on Monday, because I think it's a big enough deal. And I told this, whoever that person was that answered the phone, I told them the same thing. I want to know that this driver got fired. 100%. Do I feel bad if they actually do fire him? Absolutely not, because that driver will end up killing somebody someday. I think about the driver that was high on drugs that ran over the 9 jarheads up in the 9 members of the Jarhead Motorcycle Club. I think he actually ran over 11 of them. 9 of them died. That guy, if people called every time he was drunk driving, or the state of Massachusetts actually did their job when they ran his license, or his employer actually did their job when they qualified him as an employee, those 9 people would still be alive. So I think it's a job. I think it's a duty for anybody. If you see a truck driving erratically, to 1, call the police if you can, or 2, when you're safe, take a photo of the truck and then call their company and let them know that their driver's being an idiot behind the wheel. And so we'll have to see. Someone said his company may have been on him to make time. Still not okay though. They don't do that anymore, Alice. The companies aren't on people to make time. You can't drive any faster than that. It doesn't work that way anymore. It doesn't work, especially not in this market. And if it does, go find a different employer. But I mean, trucking now is not what it was in the early 2000s or 1990s. You have electronic logs. You can't cheat the logs anymore. You got to drive a certain amount of time. If you drive too far, they're going to be able to catch you in the logs. You can't mess it up. You can't mess it up. And someone said, you were right, Steve. It wasn't the first time that driver drove like an ass. Exactly. And that's my thing. And it won't be the last either unless they fire him. Unless they, and that's it, an employer's responsibility, because what happens the next time he rides someone's ass, they panic because they don't know what's going on. The car in front of them brakes. They brake, not realizing that truck cannot stop like that. And that truck goes and kills them. And you've seen those pileups where it happens, where a truck is in the front, a truck is in the back, there's a car in the middle, boom, the car explodes, everybody dies. And then what? No. Truckers should not be doing that. And, good truckers will call it out all the time, too. I had truckers today. We were pulling up to a construction site, and, there was a lane that was being blocked. I ended up slowing down our lane of traffic. I was in the fast lane towing the trailer. I slowed down our lane of traffic so the trucker could get in, because none of the other four-wheelers, none of the other cars were actually letting him in. So I backed out, let him in, he waved, and then when he got out of the way, I gassed up, because he was doing about 30 miles an hour at that point. That's what people have to do. People have to understand the road and understand the thing. And you're not going to get some 18-year-old driver that understands, the power of that truck, how much time it takes to stop, what it's like to drive in the snow, or what it's like to drive in the rain, what it's like to drive in a hurricane or a tornado, or what it's like to drive in Chicago, because they're all the same. You run the risk of dying just depending on where you're going. And ultimately, here's the thing, Fox News kind of caught on. I don't know if they were watching my show or whatever, but today they started talking a little bit more intelligently about the supply chain issues that we've been hearing about down at the border. They started talking quite a bit more about what actually is taking place there. They did, say, okay, well, the ports aren't actually going to go 24/7 until maybe 3 weeks from now. And when the ports do go 24/7, you're not going to have the capabilities at the warehouses. And then Craig Fuller, who's the CEO of Freight Waves and a bunch of other shit, the guy in a Flying Magazine and all sorts of other stuff, great guy, he tweeted out today that Prologis, the biggest distribution warehouse ever, they have 995 million square foot. They are completely booked up, have no more space anywhere. And that's happening all throughout the country, where all these warehouses are completely full. If any of you guys are truckers, and we have some truckers that watch the show, if any of you guys are truckers, you've been to Prologis warehouses. They are completely booked up. They have no more warehouse space to rent, which means that's great for you. It's great for the trucking industry. It's horrible for everybody else, because all these containers that are sitting waiting to come into the ports, you have what was the last count? 67 containers outside of the ports. You have 67 containers just outside of the Los Angeles port that are waiting to come into the United States. Where's all that cargo going to go? If you got the world's largest, or the United States' largest warehouse chain completely booked up, you've got everybody else, all these container freight stations in California that are completely booked up, plus they can't get any employees. California is such a liberal place anyway. They've already made it so you can't use contractors, you can't do this, you can't do that. I mean, they're destroying it. And what are we going to do? And it's not, everyone's only talking about these two ports, the Port of Long Beach and the Port of Los Angeles. There's backups all over the place. Port of Savannah's backed up. Port of Newark, I'm not sure, but I heard there's little delays there. There's all these ports are experiencing this. Port of Washington, it's all backed up as well. It's been backed up because Antifa was protesting outside of it for a while. But it's not going to go away. It's not going to solve itself just because, Joe Biden gets up and gives some stupid ass speech where he talks about how great he is and how great he's doing. It's not going to do anything. We're fucked, is what I'm trying to say in a nice, polite way, without trying to scare any of you guys. There is Someone said isn't there a port in Baltimore? Yeah, there is. There's someone else just said the South Carolina ports are all backed up. It's going to be everywhere. It's going to be everywhere. Someone said I'm respectful with the tonnage they have. If they're stupid on the highway, I'll call them out with the state troopers, the highway patrol, and explain it. Yeah. There's not going to be perishable items on these container ships, most likely. You never know. There may be, and they'll be. But here's the thing: we have a shortage that's everywhere. Okay, we got an email from someone that, and we can't say where, but someone that works in an Ohio hospital chain, where they sent out an email to their community saying they need crutches, they need medical supplies because of supply chain issues and the fact that everything is out of stock. This isn't COVID stuff. Speaking of COVID, you know how they say the ICUs are all backed up because of COVID patients? Well, it turns out that Bill Clinton is in the hospital because he had a urinary infection that went septic, and he's being housed in an ICU, not because his medical condition, dictates that he be held in an ICU. He's being held there for privacy. That was according to Fox News today, too, and his spokesperson, which is amazing because the media is always talking about how everybody with COVID is locking up every single available ICU bed. Well, now, wherever he is, you have the entire place locked down, because he's in the ICU getting oral IVs now because he's been taken off of liquid IVs. He's literally in an ICU bed getting aspirin. Not aspirin, but, oral antibiotics. Doesn't that piss anybody off? Doesn't that, just irritate you? But it should. It irritates me. Someone said, well, he's super special. He's super special. Yeah, well, it doesn't matter. It still pisses me off. Someone said container chassis is a huge problem. There's a huge shortage of those to move those containers. Yeah, there's a huge shortage of everything right now. Because here's the thing. You have 4 containers coming into the United States for everyone out. So no matter what, there's going to be a supply chain error because you're only sending out 1 container for every 4 that you bring in. Which means that when those containers ship back over to California or ship back over to China to get refilled up, there's going to be a delay in actually getting that product out of China because they don't have any containers. Then you have a chassis issue, and I'm not quite sure where all the chassis have gone, but we were having the same issue with the empties with rail like 2 months ago, where the rail, Union Pacific and all these other companies actually shut down rail service out of certain areas so they could backhaul, so they could deadhead essentially, so they could pull all those empty containers out of those locations and place them, elsewhere. But those were not ocean containers, those are rail containers, but they were still having the same thing. Because there's no warehouse space, because everyone's stockpiling everything, although we still have shortages, which doesn't make any damn sense. And so all this product is being stored at warehouses, and they're using these containers to hold everything. It's just crazy. Now, the rail is fully booked up. You got warehouses that are fully booked up and understaffed, mind you. And then Joe Biden gets up and says, well, the port's going to open 24 hours. Good luck, everybody. Merry Christmas. We're going to hear a bunch of ugly stuff that's going to happen in the future. And it's going to happen in the future, and when I say future, in the next month or two. The economy will likely crash if we even make it to Thanksgiving. That's my belief. I'm not an economist at all, so don't quote me on any of this stuff. But my personal belief is that they're not going to get our supply chain issues in time for Black Friday. The major retailers, that's their turn to go to go profitable. They're not going to be able to go profitable because there's not going to be enough supply. Everybody says, all these Biden lovers are coming out and saying, well, the reason why inflation is up is because people are buying more and they're spending more money, and that's why inflation's up, because people see they can make more money with that. It's because, this is all orchestrated. Give people more money. They go spend more money. They buy all the shit, cut off the supply. You have them dependent. That is literally what's happening now. Because come Christmas, Joe Biden's going to give a speech and be like, guys, remember a couple of months ago we tried to pass that $3.5 trillion Build Back Better? Well, guess what? You would be having Christmas if you supported it, because 65% of the adult American population right now is not in support. They believe our government is doing too much. 65%. That's the highest time in 20 years. The highest number, that's a Gallup poll that was put out today, I believe. 65% of the American population thinks that our government right now is doing too much. The only time it reached that number was right after September 11th. So go figure. That's what our country is doing right now, is we are just beating it up. Now, Joe Biden did today. He did concede and say, listen, we're not going to get the $3.5 trillion, or he doesn't believe we're going to get the $3.5 trillion. He's already setting up to the fact where he could say that Republicans did it, or that even though the American public does not agree with spending that much money, especially because we've already spent so much as a country over the past year, we've spent a tremendous amount of money. Think about it. On the 15th of every month, everyone that gets a child care tax credit is getting money deposited in their bank. I got to fix this fucking plug. And this sucks because I think I have to buy a whole, hold on. I think it means I have to buy a whole new arm because this plug is built into the arm. And this arm wasn't cheap, which sucks because it's a good one. But I grabbed the mic too much, and that's why I did it. So I'll have to buy a new one. Or maybe I could take this apart. I don't know. Because I do have another cable. If I could take this apart and swap out the cable, whatever. I'll figure it out. But it's very annoying to me. It's very annoying. But we'll have to wait and see what happens with Christmas, man. We'll have to wait. Someone said, aren't you all candy and roses, Steve, just in time for the sweetest day? I don't know. I mean, I told you, I'm not going to sugarcoat shit anymore. I tried to do that for a long time. And then I realized it's not the type of news that I wanted to report. So some days I may only come live for 10 minutes. Other days I'll rant for 2 hours. But I'm not going to apologize anymore. If you don't like the way I'm talking or you don't like my opinion, don't watch my show. You don't need to announce your departure or anything like that. You don't need to send me a message saying cancel my membership and please reply with an email saying my message was canceled at this time, because you're liable to get an email that returns back and say, put your big girl pants on and cancel your own fucking membership. Excuse my language. And my wife said that's not good customer service. And I told her I want a divorce. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, I'm not good at customer service either. You complain, I either refund or I tell you to pull your big girl pants on and cancel your own damn membership. You $12.99 or a year. That's a founding member that doesn't want to pay another $12.99 even though they've been watching the show every day. Unbelievable. But someone said October 16th is the sweetest day. I don't even get what that means. Lucas said, this show sucks. I'm leaving because you say mean things. Yeah. Bye. Bye-bye. I know he's just joking. He's a good dude. But yeah. But I mean, this is who I am, guys. You don't like it. I tried so long to try to be the happy-go-lucky, fuck that. No, that's not who I am. I'm the kind of person that likes to go beat up weights at the gym. I like to try half-heartedly to paint shit, and then, and that's the thing. Here's the thing with my, I am going to open the store and I am going to have customers come in and it's going to be live. There's going to be something that says on the door, it's going to say 24/7 live streaming. And I'm going to live stream my store. So when we're open during the day, that'll live stream. So you'll be able to hear the way I interact with customers. And I'll tell you, this is who I am. I'm not necessarily, I'm a nice guy, but I also have zero tolerance for bullshit. And I just can't wait till the one person comes in here and is like, you have a Trump shirt on your wall. Why do you have Trump? Do you like Trump? Fuck off. Get out of my store. That's what it's going to be. Because I can do it. It's my store, Someone said, how much caffeine today? None, actually. Well, I had a Mountain Dew for dinner, okay, with enchiladas that my wife made. But the tortillas were way too hot. Not way too hot. They were way too chewy. I don't know why. I didn't like it. But no, it's because this is what happens. Fuck this microphone. I'll have to buy a new one tomorrow. I'm spending too much money and not making enough. That's the thing with this. We make it with the coffee. I just ordered more coffee. So anyone who ordered a coffee box, because you're going to get your coffee, I sent out 24 of them. So most of you will probably start getting them either tomorrow or Monday. The rest of them, if you didn't get a shipping notification or your singles coffee, all the people that ordered 1 or 2 packages of coffee, you'll get shipping notices tomorrow because I finally got those nice little boxes in. So I'll be shipping all of those tomorrow. I'm actually going to be working all day here, not live, but I'm going to be printing all the shirts for the October mystery boxes, and I'm going to be doing all the coffee. The November mystery boxes are going to be different than any of the other mystery boxes because people got complacent with getting a shit ton of shirts in each one, but I was just getting rid of old supply of shirts. So the new mystery boxes for November are going to have a couple of shirts. They're going to have probably a sweatshirt. They're going to have some coffee. They're going to have some stickers, some patches, maybe a hat, maybe a mug, but and of course we'll do the gift cards and all that stuff. They're not for sale yet. Don't worry about it. And they're going to ship twice. So they're going to ship on any order that I get from when I post it out tomorrow or something. And I'll probably, who am I kidding? I'll probably go live tomorrow. There'll probably be news. But if I post it out tomorrow, then the first order will ship by the middle or the end of this month, and then the rest by December 15th. They'll be in 2 blocks. You'll know based on, if you're the first 20 or 30 people that order, you'll be able to figure it out. But yeah, man, and no paninis ever. No, our actual first coffee shop is going to open on next summer. My wife is actually going to help me set it up. By the end of the week, next week, I should have the RV. I think I'm going to have the whole thing painted because for anyone that doesn't know, we did buy an RV. When we went out to Iowa and covered the Trump rally out there, we realized we had some deficiencies. Tim, by the way, I'm glad to hear you're okay. Sorry I didn't message you on Twitter, but I saw your comment, so that's awesome. But we had some issues with some of the stuff. Our setup wasn't perfect. Travel, we forgot some of the stuff we needed. Generators weren't able to go there because, of course, Tim was in a bad accident where he was T-boned. So we didn't get generators. We didn't get everything that we needed. So we figured the best way to do this and the best way and actually save money on the hotels, because it was a disaster. Not everybody knew, but I went to the hotel. I couldn't even bring the trailer in there because I had to pay $15 to park in a garage. So I had to go back to the fairgrounds, drop my trailer, and hope nobody stole it overnight with all my camera equipment and everything in it. Never do that again. So now I bought an RV. I'm waiting. The dealership is picking it up from a dealership in Minnesota and bringing it to the dealership here. It should be here next week, and then I will go to Newport News or wherever the fuck it is, and I'll pick that up next week. So it's new to me. It's not new to everybody. But what I want to do is I want to paint it like a flat gray kind of, and with all the trim black, and then I'm going to do the same thing with the trailer. Because we have a concession trailer. I brought that trailer back to the dealer today and dropped it off and said, fix these freaking lights because, I paid a lot of money for this trailer and the lights broke after a week. And they said, well, absolutely, we'll fix it. And so they're working on that now. But I think it would just be cool. The RV will not be marked up. The trailer will be fully wrapped and awesome. But yeah, we'll be covering all of them. And then what we could do next summer, we're going to do Wake Up America rallies, like pop-up rallies, where we say, hey, on Saturday, we're going to be in Charlotte, North Carolina. Come see us. On Saturday, we'll be in Austin, Texas. Fuck Austin, Texas. We'll be in Houston, Texas. Come see us. Or you know what I mean? And we're going to do that sporadically throughout the summer. Next summer. And, breaks and stuff like that, as long as I could bring my kids. Otherwise, if they're off and they don't want to come, then I'll just go myself. But yeah, we're going to do a lot of stuff. It's going to be great. Well, Massachusetts, camping is still a go. I don't know what you mean. But yeah, is camping still a go? You mean the camping trip? I don't know what you mean. So Dallas may or may not. Nope, someone else did it too. So far we have 2 entries into tomorrow's or Monday night's giveaway we're going to give away a custom t-shirt and also a cup of coffee. You don't have to pay anything. You're just going to have to give your address. Oh, so when you sign up for a membership on citizenstringer.tv, please make sure you put your full address in there. Double check it before you do it. Because if you only put your first address, the street, I can't send you a package, and then I got to email you and say send it to me, and then we run the risk of me not seeing an email because I never check my email. So please make sure you do that. And also, Darius, I think you're the one from yesterday. Yeah, Darius B. You wear a double XL shirt, which is nice, but I don't need that. But yeah, I sent you an email. I need your full address because you only put your street number and name, so I can't send you shit because I don't know where the hell that is. And then I also want to give a shout out to Ask a Dan, who canceled their membership. Thank you very much for that. You were probably on the wrong page. I think you were looking for CNN, not Citizen Stringer, CNN. Yeah, let's go to the chat for just a little bit. And when I say go to the chat, I don't mean YouTube, Facebook, or anything. I mean the Citizen Stringer chat. And I'm going to do this every single day if I can find the effing page. Because apparently I didn't have it open, and I thought I did. There was one other story I wanted to talk about, and I forgot what it is now. Fuck, what is it? What the hell? Why can't I even find this? Oh, here it is. Yeah, I don't know what the other story was. It wasn't a long one, but I don't remember what it was. But let's check out. Whoop, that's my voice. But let me check out some of the comments on Citizen Stringer. And I don't do enough with these. And I know with the Citizen Stringer, starting next week, I may even do just a show a week that's only for them. I don't know how to do it because I'll be honest, after getting up at 6 o'clock every morning, coming here, working all day, going home from when I pick up my kids at 3 till, my wife makes dinner and we eat dinner and all that stuff. And then coming right back here, literally I finish dinner, I grab my laptop and I come right back here and I work until I finish this show. It's hard. And I'm not trying to be like, oh, woe is me. No, that's not what I'm trying to do. What I'm trying to express is I know the people on Citizen Stringer, I owe you guys to go live only to that platform as much as I can. I just don't have any time. Hopefully this weekend I'm coming in to blast out a ton of work. I'm going to be here all day tomorrow. I'm also going to be here. I'm going to finish painting everything. I fucked up when I was trying to get some of the paint off of the window on the front window. And then I realized I have a window tint on there that I screwed up. So now I got to pull all that tint off, find it on Amazon, buy it again, and reinstall the shit because I messed it up and I'm a perfectionist and don't want it to look like crap. I got to paint the new cabinet. I got to set up the desk with the legs. They're going to be coming. Shit, they're not coming till Monday, but I got to set up a desk when it comes. I still got to find someone that wants to fucking work for a living, but I have that. Then I got to find some sort of racking for the wall. So I could hang up shirts and stuff like that, some fancy lights, and hopefully I get all that done by November 1st. That spot will open up. I've got the spot there for the shipping and the printing and all that stuff. We got the spot where the coffee is going to go because we're going to do free coffee Fridays or something like that, where I'm just going to come in here and I'm going to give free coffee away. I'm going to have a big-ass sign, and all the cafes on the street are going to get super pissed. And they're going to be like, why are you giving away free coffee? And I'm going to be like, because I can. Because it's my coffee company. And it's great promotion because then people will either like the coffee and buy it, or they'll buy a shirt or something when they come in here. Or they may come in and be like, oh my God, you got patriotic shit, fucking insurrectionist, and walk out. Who knows? But then I could just mark them and be like, that person walks by the store. I get one of those little Halloween things that go rah! At them. So I'll just press a button every time they do it. That's an idea. And then I have another office in the back room that I was just going to put 2 desks in if I can ever find anybody that wants to work, because I want to hire some more writers to write. And if any of you guys that are watching the show are looking for a job and you want to write, we don't pay much. It's not a full-time gig. It's not even it's a 1099 gig per article type of deal. We are looking for writers. We have a couple now. And I think April should have reached out to them about the pay. We're going to have a couple more, hopefully, if you guys want to write. But you got to have some experience with it. We don't have a lot of time to coach if you want to write, that is. And don't be afraid to come on camera either, because if it's a big story that you cover or a big assignment that we give you, I would like you to be able to come on camera and talk about that story, because I think that's important to everybody, is not to just have me all the time. And also we have the other, you can't see it. Can you see it with that camera? Yeah, that's where I'm going to be sitting sometimes to do the show. I tell you what, this camera's picture right now looks pristine. I need to figure out how to get this camera and this camera to have this same audio, ambiance. You know what I mean? Just this look. I may just make this my main one. But then when I switch over to this one, it's like, oh, God, it's bright. You know what I mean? And I don't want to sit like this the whole time. I don't know. It's fucking frustrating. Can't ever make it work. All right, so let's see some of these comments on Citizen Stringer. There's 74 people watching there. We also have apps. So if you sign up for citizenstringer.tv, you're also going to get all of our apps. We have Citizen Stringer. iPhone and Android are getting released now. The Android or iPhone was just submitted today. Now, you can already get the app, but the new apps that we're going to have are going to have chat features on the live streams. But if you go right now and you download PT News Network TV's apps on Android or iPhone, and I think on iPhone it's already called Citizen Stringer TV, but you'll get the app, so you'll just get notified when there is an update, which should happen any moment. But Freedom Fighter said, ignore, that'd be great. Ignore the snowflakes. They will melt. Ha ha. Yeah. Live free or die on Citizen Stringer said, we may have to change our motto up here. I don't know what your motto is. Randy said, why paint the RV, wrap it, and then save the resale value when you upgrade if you decide to? Yeah, I don't know. I like the darker RVs. You know what I mean? That's kind of my thing is I like the darker ones, and I don't really want, well, I guess I could wrap it with the same color, right? Instead of painting it. You may be right. Oh, that's it. Live free or die. You said, did I see the peaceful protesters getting arrested in New Jersey or New York, New Hampshire? One of the news. I did because I think you probably sent me an email that I didn't read because I was driving and I forgot to look back at it. But that's one of the things I wanted to talk about real quick before I end this live stream. Do you guys know that a group of protesters attempted to storm a federal building in D.C.? You probably do because mainstream media has been focusing on this whole January 6th insurrection thing so much, right? And that's what they call it. But they don't call them rioters. I should have said insurrectionists. Well, no, it was actually yesterday on the 14th. A group of climate protesters attempted to storm the Department of the Interior. Several of them got inside the Department of Interior federal building in D.C., and mainstream media is nowhere to be found. Yesterday, they arrested 55 people. Police officers were injured. One police officer was sent to the hospital with bite wounds, I believe. Today, they arrested over 100 protesters outside of Washington, D.C. I absolutely 100% demand accountability. I want everyone and anyone that ever had said the word climate to be under investigation. I want the FBI to go and kick in the doors of those tree-hugging, sucking loser faces. And I want a national committee made that's completely made up on the partisan lines with loggers. You see what I'm doing here, right? Because on January 6th, they said it was all Trump supporters. They created a nonpartisan, committee that's made up of all Democrats. And I know some of you are like, it's not all Democrats. Liz Cheney and Adam Kinzinger are there. They're Democrats, okay? They're not Republicans. But wouldn't it be funny if they did another one, but you only got senators and Congress people from logging states that had a big logging influence that are going after all these climate protesters that are trying to break into the Department of the Interior. And what's ironic is that they're chanting all this anti-Biden shit because of the Build Back Better bullshit and all that stuff. That's what they're chanting out there because they don't really like Biden either. But I think they need to be treated the same way. So I think their parents' homes should have the doors kicked in by the FBI, who chooses not to do any fucking actual work. But it would be nice to see, or their friends who weren't even in D.C. should have the FBI raid them and drag their girlfriends out into the middle of the street in just their underwear with no pants on, just to ask some questions about another person that was at that protest. We talked about that yesterday. It would be nice. It would be nice. But nobody knows. You probably didn't even know there were 100 protests today. You probably didn't even know, or 100 protesters arrested today in D.C. You probably didn't even know they stormed the federal building. And even if you did read an article, it said, climate protesters were protesting outside of a federal building yesterday, and it was very peaceful and nothing happened. You probably didn't know that 55 people were arrested yesterday and that several police officers suffered injuries and one had to be transported to the hospital. You probably didn't know that because the media is not going to portray it. But I could promise you, if there is a protest scheduled for the January 6th defendants or anything else like that, for a Citizens Against Political Persecution rally or any political rally, Trump flag, hell, you don't even need to do that. You could walk downtown with a flag wave. You're going to make national news. But if you're a climate protester and you break into federal buildings, or you're an Antifa terrorist and you're throwing Molotov cocktails at federal buildings, it doesn't matter. They don't care. They're not going to cover it. And you know what? Not enough people on social media. News to Share was out there. He's got video of people arresting, of people getting arrested. Every single one of you, go find him on Twitter and retweet it. Share it out to Fox News. Share it out to CNN. Share it out to everybody and say, where is the outrage? Because that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to be outraged. The media is supposed to be outraged. No one is anymore. No one is outraged anymore by anything, and it's frustrating as fuck to me. Excuse my language. Excuse my language. You know what I just realized? Well, see, that color, I like that color. It's a lot better. I got to figure out how to fucking fix that. I don't know anything about cameras, though. And I know it's all like aperture and temperature and all that stuff. But I just like the way that looks. It's just, it's sweet. But whatever. That one's right in front. Steve, wake up, wake up. I'm quite awake. Darius, probably better to put it on your account page. Yeah, definitely don't put your address in here. Delete your comment if you did, Darius. But yeah, or just reply to the email. I sent you an email. Someone said, oh yeah, one less fatality than January 6th. Yeah, it's the same. It's just, but nobody covers anything. Nobody covers anything ever. Darius said you emailed me your address. Okay, you probably did now. So good. Yeah, I got it now. Kentucky boy. The chat's going too damn quick. I can't see it. It says, check to see if the other two cameras have a warm settings under temperature. Yeah, I'll check later. Side one is good, blah, blah, blah. Actually, I could probably switch that camera when I'm staring over here because then it gives the impression that I'm like looking. I'm checking some of these emails. I got your email, Darius. You're good, bro. Linda said, sent you a heartfelt email about an inspiration you are to people. Did you get it? 2020, you inspired me to start a community program called Adopt a Cop for Christmas. This year, it's firefighters. I think I did get it. I don't remember, though. But yes. And that's awesome. I hope everyone did. I hope everyone does it. And I hope I inspire as many people as I can. I don't want to, hype myself up or anything like that. But after this last Iowa rally, I realized that I have made an influence on a lot of people. And I'm going to continue doing it. I'm never going to stop. I'm never going to stop doing this. I'll do it till I'm an old, saggy man. Yeah, I'm going to take time off, and I'm not going to do it every single day. And if I want to take a day off in the middle of the week, I'm going to take a day off in the middle of the week. And if it pisses you off, well, so be it. I don't care. Because this is about me, and it's about me being able to deal with it. I'm trying to double check to see if I could play, because again, we have our own platform. We can't play everything though without permission. So InfoWars Alex Jones narrated a documentary film that was put out by Rediscover Television. That is Rediscover Television on Facebook. What I would like you guys to do is all tweet at Rediscover Television or go onto their Facebook page, super nice people, and say, hey, Citizen Stringer would like to host that on the video or on their platform. The video, I forgot what it's called. I think it's called COVID Land, the lockdown. I would like to air that on our network to put it in our rotation and also have it on demand. Now, could I just snipe it and do it? Yeah, but I like to do everything honorably. So if you guys would like to see that, or there's any other program like that, let me know, and we'll try to get it on. This is one that I'm trying to get on because, well, one, I want to see it, and secondly, I would like to air it and just add more content. We are going to have some news possibly next week, maybe the other week, about some new shows that are going to be coming on our network, which we're pretty excited about. They'll help us branch out and reach more people, so I'm super excited about that. And then our listeners will be able to learn a little bit more about stuff. And I'll be honest, some of you guys already know who this person is, because you're the reason why I contacted them. But yeah, Melissa, I got your email. Fuck. What email did you send it? Anyone who's interested in writing for us, send an email to social@ptnewsnetwork.com. Social@ptnewsnetwork. Melissa, you're good. I already forwarded your email. But I need, because April is going to help me kind of go through these. Because I'm busy. I take on too much. So April is trying to help me because she'll be the one that assigns all she'll assign it. You know what I mean? She'll assign stories and get you caught up and train you on Trello and all that stuff. So, someone said, anyone see today when Joe said he was a husband of Joe Biden when it started speech? No, he didn't. I mean, I was listening. He was talking about Joe Biden. See, like any blunders like that, I make vocal missteps all day. I don't even know if that's the right work or anything. Is the Citizen Stringer app on Roku working? Does a bear shit in the woods? Yeah, it's working. You can download it right now. And here's the thing, Citizen Stringer is free. You don't need to pay for it. You can't watch the live streams unless you pay for it. But if you register for an account and you become a paying member, which is $12.99 a month, you're supporting our channel, allowing us to continue doing this and continue doing what we're doing. But two, you get to watch the live streams and chat in an unfiltered, unmoderated chat. You're just not allowed to be racist, and I'll ban you. And you're not allowed to troll because we have really good people in there, and they'll let me know if you're a pattern troller, and you'll get banned like Brian H. You'll get banned, and then you'll send me long, drawn-out, novel emails complaining about how bad and evil of a man I am that I banned you from a paying platform. Well, don't be a troll and get off our ass. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Never mind. No one needs to email Rediscover Television because tomorrow I will have COVID Land, the lockdowns on our network. We will be airing it on our network. Let's say tomorrow at 8 o'clock, we'll do a premiere. I'll be in the chat with everyone. That'll be on Citizen Stringer. If you want to chat, you have to be a member, but that'll only be on Citizen Stringer. It won't be on any social medias at all. And also, it's also available to watch on full 6K through Roku, through Rediscover Television, and also you can download on Vimeo if you want an account, because you can't download any of our videos on Citizen Stringer. But I'll have everything up there tomorrow for the video, so I'm excited. They just said I could put it up there, so super awesome to them. And that's great. That's great. See, we're doing things. So that show will be on there, and we'll also air it live tomorrow night, a roundtable. We'll all watch it. Maybe I'll go live after it because I think it's a 2-hour documentary. So maybe I'll go live after and we'll talk about what we just watched. That's what's going on tomorrow night. So maybe I should move it. Should I do 6 o'clock tomorrow night Eastern time and then talk? Let's do 7 o'clock tomorrow night, and then we'll play it till 9 o'clock, and then I'll just go live for about 20 minutes after, Citizen Stringer exclusive. And we'll talk about the documentary because I haven't seen it yet, so I'm gonna wait for it. Someone said the app chat is different from website. CSTV just left at and came here. Strange. Yeah, because it's not there yet. That's the app chat. If you're watching on the Citizen Stringer mobile app that we released a couple of months ago, delete that shit. If that's the one that's probably sending you notifications saying Freedom Flashpoint is live, Wake Up America's live, delete that app. We don't have anything to do with it. We're probably going to end up suing that company to get our 13 grand back. We fucked up and we paid a dumbass company that couldn't do what we wanted. And yes, the day is going to come where I'm going to reveal that company name and put them on blast, but I have to wait and see if we're going to sue them first. But yeah, so 7 o'clock tomorrow Eastern time, we will be broadcasting COVID Land, the lockdown, live on Citizen Stringer for all paying members to see. It'll also be on demand, so anyone can watch it. You don't need a membership. This video will be live shortly after I end it. Also, it'll be a podcast. I suck at putting the podcast up. I keep forgetting to do it. I apologize to everybody. This and yesterday's, well, fuck it. We'll just start today. I'm going to start a whole new season with podcasts. This is going to be season 13 because we're on season 12 for some reason. But season 13, we'll start with this podcast. I will see you guys all next week. Big shout out to Spartan Armor Systems. Also, justcbdstore.com. If you visit justcbdstore.com and use code CITIZEN20, you get 20% off your order. Use it. Because literally, if you have trouble sleeping at night, you're up like me all night long, can't figure out what the hell is going on in our country, and your brain never stops, go to visit justcbdstore.com. Use code CITIZEN20. You get 20% off your order for some CBD gummies, CBD oil, whatever you want to get. It's great. I am a user. I'm not just getting paid to represent them. I use it pretty much every day now. And I suggest everyone does because it makes me mellow. Obviously, I take it at night, which is why I'm not mellow at all right now. But anyway, thank you guys all for watching. We will see you tomorrow night, 7 o'clock for COVID Land, the lockdown.
You've been listening to Wake Up America with Stephen Oatley. Unapologetically American and unapologetically honest. Join us each night at 8 p.m. for more daily headlines, politics, and social issues, covering the headlines that mainstream media ignores. We hope you've enjoyed the show. If you did, make sure to like, rate, and review the show. See more on the website at citizenstringer.com. And we'll see you tomorrow on Wake Up America.